Hey guys, welcome back to Silhouette Success. Today we are going to learn how to create a customized skin for your Cameo 4 or your portrait or your tablet, laptop, whatever you want. All you need are the correct measurements and some vinyl. Super easy, usually. I am here to tell you today also that it doesn't matter how long you work with the software, with the machines, you are sometimes going to have a bad day. Now, I had purchased this handy tape measure. I was so excited to use it. It has a digital readout, supposed to be super accurate, and I'm sure that it is, just not for this project. This was a bust. Michaels has their own line of vinyl now. It is an excellent product. I love the holographic. It's beautiful. That's why I grabbed it. However, when I removed the old vinyl from my Cameo, there was some dust and adhesive left that I missed. And if you've ever worked with holographic vinyl before, you know that anything underneath the vinyl is going to create bumps and air bubbles, and it was a disaster because the holographic vinyl shows each and every flaw. It just magnifies it. So there was a bit of frustration. I ended up walking away, taking a breath, and coming back to it, which is fine. We all have those days. But I think it's important for you to know that that is normal and it just happens. Also, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. I am more than happy to help throughout any of these rough patches as you go along. You can put questions and comments down in the comment section below any of the videos, really, or you can hop on over to Facebook, like and follow my page. It is Silhouette Success, same as it is here on YouTube, or there is a private group you can join as well. Now, if everyone's ready to get started, let's do this. The first thing you want to do is get measurements of your machine. This is probably the most important part of the project, and I recommend that you use a regular old sewing measuring tape. Nothing fancy here. Once that's done, we can go over to Silhouette Studio. The first thing we are going to do is switch our cutting mat over to a 12 by 24. And then we're just going to pull that off to the side so we have a blank canvas to work with. You're going to go ahead and grab yourself a rectangle. And you want to set that rectangle at 2.5 by 1.361. Now you're going to go ahead and duplicate that twice. Pull that one over there. This is going to stay the same size. We're going to switch this one up to 16.5 for the width. Now you're going to grab your middle rectangle and you're going to duplicate that 3 times. And we're going to drag them all down underneath one another here. So this row is the back of your Cameo. This rectangle is going to be for the very top where it says Cameo in the middle. So this one is going to stay the same size, but we need to grab a rounded rectangle. We're going to convert that to path, and then we're going to switch the size up to 3.0 by 0.75. Now you want to take both of these and you want to center them. Then you're going to right click and make a compound path. This next rectangle is going to be for your door. So we are going to make that 16.5 by 4.75. See, it's starting to take shape now. This piece is going to be for the bottom front. We're going to want to make that 16.5 by 0.870. Okay, now this one also has a hole in it, so let's grab another rounded rectangle. We can convert that to path. And then the size on the hole is going to be 2.375. And the height on this doesn't really matter. I'll show you why in just one second. What you want to do is you want to line up the top of these two pieces. You're going to select both of them. And you are going to align the center. We need that cutout to be 1/4 of an inch below the top of the roll holder. So we're going to go to this crossed arrow icon here. My distance is already set to 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to hit the down arrow key. Except that both were selected, so we're going to undo that. Let's grab just the rounded rectangle and try that again. Now there is 1/4 inch space between the top of this rectangle and the rounded rectangle. Now we can select both of those, go to the modify panel and select subtract. And there is the cutout for the handle in that drawer. Now we're going to go ahead and duplicate this one more time. We're going to bring it down here. All right, the width for the bottom rectangle is 2.188 and the height is 1.625. And then we're going to duplicate that so we have one for the other side as well. Now we just need the rounded rectangles for the side here. I'm going to adjust the corners on this just a little bit so they're more rounded. We're going to right click and convert to path. We're going to grab our knife tool. We're going to hold down the shift key and just slice off the one side of the corners, because on the Cameo, one side is flat corners, the other are rounded. So we can go ahead and delete that little bit. Now we need to adjust our size on the rounded rectangles, so they are 2.727 by 6.224. That will fit right in there. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to flip the duplicated one horizontally and move that over to this side. Now for this one, we need a cutout, so we're going to grab another rounded rectangle. This is for the panel opening, and the size on this needs to be 2.1 by 4.25. You want to right click and make a compound path. I'm going to select all of this and group it for just a minute. We can bring it onto our cutting mat now. Let's go to the transform panel and rotate this. Go ahead and zoom out so we can see it. I think that was too much. I can't seem to get it right here. Now we could go ahead and cut this as is, but you can save a little bit of vinyl. So let's ungroup. Let's move this off to the side and this off to the side for a moment. We'll grab these parts and move them over to the edge. You can squish these in a little bit. And this one, let's move these over. This one can come up here. This one can go here. Let's rotate this one and it can set right in there. We're going to go ahead and get ready to send this through. I want to run it through on craft paper first to make sure that all of my measurements are correct. I don't want to waste all of that vinyl. So let's go ahead and select copy paper medium and run it through. Now is a good time to hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video so far. That helps me out a ton, and it pushes the video out into the YouTube universe so that other crafters can find it as well. Once this is finished cutting, we're going to test the pattern by holding the pieces up to the machine. We can go back into Silhouette Studio and make any necessary adjustments before we cut our vinyl. I think we're good to go. I have taken the old vinyl off of my Cameo and cleaned up the leftover residue, and now it's time to give my girl a facelift. I'm using glitter permanent vinyl from the Dollar Tree. It is my first time using this product, so we will see how things go. The material does feel quite thin, so fingers crossed. There were a couple places that did not cut well, but that was due to creases in my cutting mat. It was not due to the vinyl quality. I'm not quite sure how my measurements got mixed up between the copy paper and the vinyl, but my rounded rectangle sides ended up being slightly larger than they should have been. I just took my razor knife and trimmed away the extra. Carefully, of course, so I didn't scratch my machine. I absolutely love that you are still here, and I hope that this video has been helpful. I did make a shirt to commemorate this whole epic failure of a project. I run a tight shipwreck. I did this using my Cameo 4 to make a stencil for screen printing, and if you would like to see a video on that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because that is up next. Now, go ahead and create something amazing. I will see you in the next video.